Question. NJ was the contractor. Do you have any idea what they cost for that project? Because that was in August business. Should have been a number accrued for August business. We've got a CPA that claims that they really do a good accruals, and I couldn't find the number on it.
You know, off the top of my head, I don't know what that cost would be, but it should be no more than a leaking service line. The only thing that was different was the amount of time it took and the material. So it should be right in the ballpark of a regular invoice that they give us.
So they had 8 hours, 16 hours?
They had about 7 hours or so.
About 7 hours?
And then myself and the staff had about 16 hours.
I'm sorry?
I said myself and our staff had about 16 hours.
I don't care about you, you're free.
Yeah, they had about 7 hours.
So about 7 hours?
Yeah.
So $500–600 plus materials.
I wouldn't even know what it is.
Well, we got a bill from NJ for 8 hours. It was $600 or something like that, I think. And so it's something like, it's 60–70% more than what our people would cost us.
So. I'm going to go to the board now, and then I'll come back. Any comment on our questions for Randy?
You know, Lou brings up water lines going across ranch property. I couldn't even count the number of lines that are on. They're not more, there's more than one. And the one he talks about is the one that's on my property. They put a meter on one end, they put one over at Stones, and subtract the difference between what's in the line over half a mile and say there's a leak. It's been going on forever. There is no leak. You know, you take 2 meters, the difference in between is the water that's in the line. You know, it's like kindergarten stuff. But, you know, and I have more than that. I think I have like 3 of those lines on my property. And then there's all the ones over on, that go underneath the highway over there to where the new market was going to be moved. And those that went from Hossie, whatever it is, Hidalgo, and they're all over the place. And these lines. And they're, you know, the lines were put in by the original water company. And Wes might have done it, or who knows who put those lines in. They did it because they weren't selling water. There were no houses here. So they had to do something to sell water. They had to pay for the 5,000 acre feet, use it or not. And so they put, the people that were hooked up to this system were the people that were outside code-imposed place of use. There were no houses here. And for probably the first 10 years, there were no houses here. And they used to give away trees. They did everything they could to try to get us to use water, you know, the ranches. And they just didn't use that much water. And, you know, I mean, they finally go bankrupt. And who votes in the board of this district are the people that are outside place of use. Because there were no people here, you know. We'll address that later, but
Okay.
it's ridiculous.
That's really not on Randy's report.
Yeah.
So let's
Luke brought it up.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, I was going to bring up a lot more too, Emery.
Okay.
If you look at your accounts, if you look at your chart of accounts, you'll find you've got an account number set up in there, an actual account to keep track of your supplies and things separate from your chemicals. We used to do it. For some reason or other, we decided not to do that anymore. We have terrible records from our accounting standpoint. We really do have terrible records. And it's obvious we don't have anybody that knows what's going on with the numbers. You know, but there's a bigger thing here. And I got some other things I could go into and stuff like that, but I don't think any of it's that important. Let me just glance here for a second. I'm sitting here listening, and once again, I'm going to talk from the standpoint of an old consultant. We are a troubled CSD, okay? We're troubled, whether you like to admit it or not. Everything from the drought to not being prepared for it, to having lots of turnover in general managers and staff, and we're just troubled. Now, we are trying to stuff multiple 5-year plans and trying to get them all done at once, because we think we've got some money that came from bonds that people think have no value and nobody ever has to pay for it. Well, we do all pay for it. We think we got bonds for wells. But our wells, we probably have about half the cost done, and we have about half of the income in. And these wells have been going on for a long time. Nobody's getting them closed out. We're not getting our money in. We've got these problems like the big leak, okay? NJ comes in, and of course he's part of the team. We hired the Pete, Ice White Horse, bringing in his own team, his own finances, his own everything. But NJ is not part of us. The CPA accountant is not part of us. We got so many of these things, and now we've got a new grant out there that we're going to play with for a long time. These are things we need to have. Don't misunderstand me. We need to get the service lines fixed. I don't know about the wells, whether we really needed them or not, but now we got them. We need to get them finished. You know, we've got to have an inside team to get this stuff done. We're not getting it done by using outside people, a part-time general manager. It's not getting done. We're just sitting here and chasing ourselves around the tree. We need to set this place up with a general manager that's in-house, period. We need probably two teams, maybe an operations team and a maintenance team, a maintenance and a project team. And they could cross over with the extra help. But start making some of these things happen. What we're doing is we're just going around in a circle and going around in a circle and going around in a circle with the goal of a 5-year contract for our part-time general manager. And
I'm gonna stop.
You're gonna stop me, okay.
Okay, let me tell you why.
That's fine.
We're talking about the financials, and you're going on kind of a long story about long term. So if you want to make your comments back to financials, I really appreciate, because I do enjoy hearing it.
No,
but if you want to take this other
that's
comments
fine.
and bring them back to the board on something that's not on the agenda, I'd appreciate that as well.
Money is a lagging indicator of everything that's going on.
Thank you. Any other comments about financials or the meeting minutes? Okay, I need a motion.
Well, what about the public?
It's open.
Okay, just reiterate what I was saying earlier. If you look on page, well, I guess we don't have page numbers. If you look at the August 15th minutes, number 2, public comment. 1 public member spoke. That was me, quite lengthy, requesting the outside MID-POU official map be placed on the website, which it has not. And that's, the way that's reported, it's in violation of 5060.1.3 of your own policies that you've revamped. Thank you.
Thank you.